Hey, Highpoint, it's Nicole Polanco. Today is December 9th. So the passage today is Luke 2:1-5. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration when Quirinius was governor of Syria, and all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. The bonds of friendship. Andrew waved goodbye to his old friend Joseph. Thanks to the registration, many of his friends were leaving Nazareth to journey to their hometowns, while people who had left years ago were coming into the small town. Andrew was from Nazareth, so he didn't get to travel. Instead, he was going to hold down the carpenter's shop while Joseph and the others were away. He worked while they went off. He waved goodbye to several friends in the last few days, but as he watched Joseph go off down the road to Bethlehem, he realized none of his goodbyes were as odd as this one. Andrew had watched Joseph and Mary meet, court, and fall in love. Andrew talked to Joseph about his feelings for Mary and his desire to settle down and start a family. Andrew even envied Joseph for a little for having it all together, but he was happy for his friend. Until he found out that Mary was pregnant. They weren't even married yet, and she was pregnant. That wasn't something he expected from Joseph at all. Andrew wondered if the child was his or if Mary had been with someone else. They had both been very hush-hush about the whole situation. Joseph had considered giving her a certificate of divorce, but to Andrew's surprise, Joseph decided against it. He had said it was the will of Yahweh that they get married. It didn't make sense to Andrew, but if there was one thing he had learned about Joseph, he was an upstanding Jew who worked hard while remaining faithful to the law. So, Andrew supported his friend even when others questioned Mary's morality and Joseph's judgment. The whole town was astir about the young couple. Joseph and Mary were probably glad to be getting away from it all for a while. Even in Bethlehem, no one really knew them, so no one would know about the premature pregnancy and the questionable marriage arrangements. As Andrew looked on as the couple faded into the distance, he thought about something Joseph had said. One time, when they were working in the shop and talking about things, Joseph mentioned something about Mary carrying God's son. Andrew didn't understand what that meant. The Son of God in the womb of Joseph's young bride? I suppose if you want all the questions about your pregnancy to go away, that would be one way to explain it. But what did that even mean? It wasn't his place to judge. He had supported Mary and Joseph so far, and he would continue to do so. Yahweh has a way of sorting things out, and Andrew had a way of just letting him. That was exactly what he planned on doing in the situation as well. The registration would soon be over, and his friends would return home. Based on how Mary looked, they would probably be returning as a family of 3 rather than 2. He had wished them well on their journey to Bethlehem. He had promised to keep the carpenter's shop moving, and he had quietly wondered if the Son of God would look like every other baby in town. Or would there be something special about him? That is, if the whole thing was true in the first place. Oh well, he needed to get back to the shop. His friends were gone over the horizon, and the day was ending. He needed to do his duty and get back to building. What this means for me. Friends can be one of the greatest gifts in life. I have heard it said that friends are the family that we get to choose. Now, some of us come from great families and we have great friends that we enjoy as well. Others of us, though, have friends that serve as our family because either we have lost family or we are separated from them for a variety of circumstances. True friends are supportive in the tough times, rejoice with us in the good times, challenge us when we need to be challenged, and will be honest with us when no one else will. However, every friendship goes through a tough patch at some point. The test of a true friendship is whether or not it survives through tough patches. It is easy to be friends in the good times, when everything is working and we all agree on things and life is full of sunshines and rainbows. But what about when there are arguments? What about when we don't agree or share different viewpoints on an important subject? When you find your friendships navigating those turbulent waters, what then? Do you bail and move on to find another friend? Oftentimes, when friendships fall apart, it's because one or both parties in the friendship have stopped asking, "What can I do for my friend?" and start asking, "What can my friend do for me?" Central to Jesus' life, ministry, and message was the idea that we are called to serve others. Of the people in this world that we can serve, we should start with those that are closest to us, our family and our friends. Remember, your friends you have, you chose, so take care of them. A year can bring a lot of circumstances that threaten to tear friendships apart. When we come into a holiday season, particularly a Christmas season, and we find ourselves alone away from family and friends, it can be very difficult. It can be even more difficult if we know that the reason our friends are distant is because we didn't serve them. We refused to forgive them. We put issues before them. We weren't getting enough from them. We demanded too much from them. Loneliness is so hard, but when we have created that loneliness with our actions, that can be even more difficult. I want to challenge you to think about a friendship that is damaged, hurt, or maybe even lost because of a situation or a set of circumstances from this past year. Once you have identified that friendship, I want you to write down 2 to 3 things that you can do to mend that relationship. Now, there's no guarantee the other person will reciprocate, but you won't know until you extend the olive branch. Maybe they're too hurt, too scared, or think that you don't care anymore. Do not allow unknown concerns and fears to be the reason that you lose a good friendship. Reach out and do your part in mending those fences. Be the light of Jesus this Christmas season. He was born to bring forgiveness to his people. You do the same and offer forgiveness to your people.